So if you've thought about maybe getting a battery backup or a portable refrigerator or a solar panel or a combination of those things, now's a great time to be shopping because Prime Days are here and there's some really good discounts. So I get asked a lot, what kind of battery system should I get? Now you can see there's different sizes here, there's different prices and different purposes. So in this video I want to cover some of those things and also explain the deals that are on for Prime Day. But if you come in here, just as an example, this little guy here doesn't have any AC outlets, where this one does. These are both really portable, but this one that has AC outlets can't run your full-size refrigerator, whereas this guy down here can run your full-size refrigerator, but this one is not really meant to back up your whole house, and that's what this one is for. And this one has a number of features that this one doesn't have. Now this portable refrigerator can do things that a regular cooler just can't do. So we'll talk about that too. And all of these work with solar panels, my favorite way to charge things. So Anker SOLIX is having a big sale for Prime Days, and what I want to do is walk you through some highlights and use cases of each of these, starting with the larger ones and then working our way down to the smallest one. The deal on this one might be the most time dependent because in addition to the Prime Day deal of $27.99, in the US you could also get the 30% federal tax credit. So this is a beast of a power station. It's one of the very few that can input 240 volts and output 240 volts even at the same time. Now to input 240 volts, you need this extra piece of hardware that you can buy, and you can see this is a standard 240 volt plug. So if you're using like a fuel generator, you can plug it in there and charge it up. On the output side, it has a standard 240 volt outlet, a 30 amp RV outlet, and 6 normal 120 AC outlets. The inverter on here can do 6,000 watts of continuous power. Let's turn on this AC output here. And what I've got going on is 3 other batteries on the AC outlets over there. And here you can see 5996 watts. It can do that consistently till this gets to 0%. So if you're thinking about use case scenarios for this, something else to bear in mind is that the inverter here can surge up to 12,000 watts. So what that means is that this 240 volt outlet especially can handle a larger air conditioner, getting it started and then running it. Usually when you get it started, that's where it takes that most power, that surge power. For example, it can easily start and run both of my 13,000 BTU air conditioners on my RV roof. The storage capacity on this is 3.8 kilowatt hours, and you can add up to 6 more expansion batteries for a total of 26.9 kilowatt hours. If you're using this for a power outage, you can use the AC outlets to run something like your refrigerator. Probably for most people's fridges, you could expect to get about 25 to 30 hours of runtime, and that's assuming your fridge uses about 100 watts like mine does. And you can greatly extend that with solar panels. The F3800 Plus has 3200 watts of solar input, 1600 watts per port with a higher voltage input, so that means you can have multiple rigid solar panels in series. The F3800 Plus can also be used as part of your home's power backup and savings plan if you combine it with the home power panel. At my house, I have solar coming in and the power station connected to my home's electrical system through the home power panel. With this setup, I get millisecond automatic switchover when the power goes out, and I can also use the batteries to power my house to save on electricity costs. So next is the Everfrost 2 cooler. This is not just a cooler, but it's a portable smart refrigerator. You can set the internal temperature down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit, so you can use it as a fridge or a freezer. The Everfrost 2 is on sale for $699.99. It comes with a removable battery, which is nice in case there's no power source nearby, and you can even use this battery independently for other things like charging your laptop. And there's a slot for a second battery in case you wanted to pick one up. The fridge cools down pretty quick. They've included a fan they call frost flow technology that hasn't been there on the previous version. I'm going to do a test that's sort of a 2-in-1. I have a room temperature jug of water I'm going to put in here, and I don't have it plugged in, but I do have the one battery charged to 100%. There's only one of them in there. And I'm going to set it below freezing and then see how long it takes for it to freeze that jug of water. All right, so the compressor just shut off a few minutes ago and I stopped the timer, so it's about 5 hours and 40 minutes. So let's take a look at our ice, or our water jug. There's still a little bit of water in there. It's mostly ice, mostly solid ice, but that's pretty encouraging. 5 hours and 40 minutes on one battery starting at room temperature, and then I also had it on max. So when I put the fridge in eco mode and set it to 25 degrees with the jug already fully frozen, the battery kept the inside at that temperature for over 24 hours. So one really cool thing you can do with this fridge is if you have a solar panel, I have a 100-watt solar panel over there, you can basically get your refrigeration for free. So if you take a look at the app, You can see inside of there, -2 degrees Fahrenheit. And then down here, look, it's not using the battery. Battery output is 0. It's actually charging the battery at 68 watts. So it's using the solar power to run the compressor and the fan and everything inside of there, and charging the battery on the side. So pretty cool that you can combine a solar panel with a portable refrigerator and get an extended runtime. Next is the C1000. I did a full review on this unit if you want to check it out. It's probably the power station I recommend the most for anyone who doesn't know what to get but wants to get something. And I recommend it because it's portable. It's powerful enough to run your full-size refrigerator in case there's a power outage. It's got a light on it. It's got USB-C ports so you can charge your devices. You can charge it with solar panels up to 600 watts, so it's great for independent power and home backup or camping. The main Prime Day deal on the C1000 is with a 200-watt solar panel combination, and it's on sale for $749. So this is a lightweight 1 kilowatt-hour power station. You can get an extra battery that doubles the capacity to 2 kilowatt-hours. Most power stations in this range only have a couple AC outlets, maybe like 2 of them. This one has 6, which I really like, so you can plug in everything that you want to run off of the battery. The maximum continuous output across all of these is 1800 watts. So basically what that means is anything you can plug in to your normal AC outlet at your house, this thing can run that. And like I mentioned before, this can run your full-size refrigerator. For example, when I run it on my refrigerator, it was able to run for over 7 hours. I love getting the free energy from the sun, charging by solar panels. I like just letting it sit outside and I can monitor it from the inside. There it is right there, 200-watt solar panel charging the C1000. I can be inside monitoring it, and once it hits 100%, I can go out there and collect everything. Next up is the C300. This is one of my favorites because I get tired of seeing small portable power stations that only have 1 or maybe 2 USB-C ports. This one has 3 USB-C ports, and it has 3 AC outlets in this small little package. This is 288 watt hours. Now of the USB-C ports, 2 of them are super juiced up with 140 watts of output each, and the one in the middle can even charge the whole unit at 140 watts. If you flip up this little tab, it means you can get access to the XT60 port, which means you can charge this small power station with a 100-watt solar panel. So I'm gonna do that right now, plug in a 100-watt solar panel. You can only charge by solar or that USB-C, that's why that little tab is there. But you can also charge with wall AC. And you can see here, there's a nice handle to carry this thing, and there's even a spot for shoulder straps. And the C300 is on Prime Day deal with a 100-watt solar panel combination for $369. So this was a fun project and potentially a use case scenario for you if you get the C300. I have a 100-watt solar panel hooked up to this little shed here, and this is my off-grid tool charging station plus, access to AC power. So what I have is I have that 100-watt solar panel going into here. These AC outlets are on, and they're charging my tool batteries, various ones down there. This can do 300 watts of continuous output, which is plenty to charge the batteries. And then when I want to come out here and say I want an outlet nearby, I can plug in a light, like a floodlight, to look and see what I'm doing. And there's also a little light on the top of this right here. And there's also a 12-volt port. I don't know if I mentioned that before. But it's pretty cool that because of the remote monitoring, its Wi-Fi is good enough to reach the house, which is way over there. I can monitor it and see when the tool battery is done. Basically, I can look at the AC output, and when that goes to 0, I know my tool battery is fully charged, and I can come out here and use it. And at the beginning, I mentioned that you couldn't use the C300 to run your full-size refrigerator, and that's because these outlets can only output 300 watts of continuous power with a 600-watt surge. So if your refrigerator uses 600 watts or less to get the compressor started, then you could use it, but most refrigerators, at least the full-size ones, use more power than that. Now this little power station is pretty unique in that it only has DC outputs, but it's not sacrificing muscle to do that. It has 4 USB-C ports, which I really like. 2 of them are output at 140 watts, and they are bidirectional. So you can input on both of these at the same time to input at 280 watts. This thing is super light, weighs 6 pounds, great for camping or power outages. There's a little diffused light on the top. You can compact down. You can plug a 100-watt solar panel into this, and the reason I'm standing here is because it's so bright outside. This wire is going outside and the solar panel's out there. But here's a use case scenario. So you don't have any power, or you want to keep this inside and you keep your solar panel out there, and then you can use any of these USB-C, USB-A, or the 12-volt port right here, which is very handy. So for example, this is really great, this 12-volt port, if you want to pair this with a portable refrigerator. So you could use the Everfrost 2, like I was showing you earlier. I did use this with another one, and it was able to keep the compressor going at freezing temperatures for about 24 hours. So the 2025 Anker SOLIX Prime Day is coming. Check out the links below to get exclusive benefits, flash sale product information, and the latest deals.